Welcome, welcome. Yes, we have top of the hour. We have ISM Manufacturing and Jolt job openings, and then FOMC minutes at 2 o'clock. Big red candle start the day off here, 16,586. Coming on down. We have a trend line again. Yesterday, the trend channel was an absolute money maker. And we are right back to it today. Look at all the liquidity here on Bookmap. We have 4760, 4750, 4745 on Bookmap. With a couple of icebergs. Notice I have my iceberg indicator fixed again. They had to reset my license on Bookmap. Ooh, nice little bottom wick right there. Cray cray. Cray cray. All right, 16606 here, right off the trend line. If you don't know what I'm talking about here, let me show you. Let me show you. That's what I'm tracking on NASDAQ right there. What's up, YouTube? How's it going? I'm going to see how this thing bases the first half hour. Obviously, I want to be very careful with the first half hour. Plus, we have jobs and all the ISM at top of the hour. So positioning into it, and then we'll wait for that, and we'll start to get rolling here. No plays currently on my accounts. Oh, sorry about that. Is there a way we can get the trend line on TV or something? No, not that I know of. I just hand drew this thing. So, yeah, just figure out. That's the 5-minute chart. Just go back until about London Open, 3 o'clock Eastern time, and plot it. All right, 16614 here. So back and forth right there. We really got. Now overall, again, I am looking to see how that late action yesterday plays into today. Right now, all of the X's are red except for V, which is a change of tune from yesterday. So yesterday we had a lot of relative strength. Today, not so much. We'll see how this plays out. Apple's putting on some very large greens. Amazon and Microsoft doing the same. We have a negative 3,200 CVD on NASDAQ. Breaking through these levels, big old top wick on NASDAQ and rolling over. New low of the day for NASDAQ. Wow. So just like opposite, the past, what I've been doing is tracking which candle is the morning range opener. In the first hour, typically has been the low. The first hour low has been the very first candle of the day. We put in the low and then we bounce. Now it's the opposite. The first candle is the high of the day, and it's because the algorithms are hitting sell very aggressively out of the gate here. And despite the fact that Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft are rocketing right now, NASDAQ is dumped. NASDAQ is dumped over about 60 points. What's NVIDIA doing? NVIDIA is up. Google is up. So the top 5 mega caps tech stocks are up. And NASDAQ dumped. Interesting. And NASDAQ is putting on a nasty doji. Whips on all over the place. Yeah, well, NVIDIA is not up overall. I'm talking about the first opening candle is what I'm talking about. Big green candle to start the day off. An opening range candle to start the day off so far. So far, NASDAQ's got a big old doji on it. ES is hanging out. If you notice on Bookmap as well, we have a lot. Look at all these icebergs here. 700, 800, 200 below the price. So those could be construed as buy icebergs here. to temporarily retrace us back up until we wipe out 47, 60, 50, 42 down. Very interesting. What's up? What's with all the I need some help with trade exiting. I have a tendency to hold on to options too long. I get a great entry and then I go positive, but my FOMO is missing out on more profits to keep me in trades. Trade starts to go the way I keep telling myself, don't worry, I'll go back up. How do I get out of this mindset? You have to predefine your exits. When you take a trade, you need to draw a line in the sand that says, if this price action hits this point, no matter what, I'm out. You've got to do it beforehand, before you enter the trade, before your emotions are laid out on the table. You've got to predefine your exit and predefine at which point you're going to be either starting to scale out or exiting the trade completely. It can either be a price action type, it can be a level, whichever it is. So here comes the buying after all those icebergs were kind of transacted. Coming up here, NASDAQ just bounced aggressively. Yeah, I'm just seeing that. I mean, look at all the tech stocks right now. The mega cap stocks are going up right now. All right, 47.60 right here. $16,623. Man, look at Microsoft right now, man. Rocket ship. So ES is down right now in terms of liquidity. NASDAQ doesn't have much. You see a little bit coming up at 725. We have down here at 500. So straddling up and down, straddling the price action there. We have a couple of iceberg hitting. We've got about, I mean, those are very large NASDAQ icebergs. They wouldn't be so much on ES, but NASDAQ, those are pretty large icebergs right there. Hanging out right here at 16,610. Big old top wick right there, on down. Double top wick on NASDAQ right there. And then that's not so much. That's being a little bit front running. One top wick with a bit of a doji of the first candle here. We'll see how that one plays out. I just went short at 16,620 on NASDAQ just for a quick scalp, and I'm going to see how much momentum I can get out of this trade right here. $16,606. Right back to 16,610 into data in 20 minutes. SPX jumping 2 points back. Yeah. That's why I'm kind of hanging on NASDAQ here, waiting for ES to break away from this 47.60. I honestly haven't traded the S&P for a couple of days now. Kind of sticking to NASDAQ. Been having some good success with it. Yeah, here we go. So ES has got this liquidity down south, 47.60 iceberg, and liquidity all the way down to 47.45 with a negative 6,400 CVD. All right. And I'm about to stop out here. Oh, sweet. Dumped it. Thought I was about to trip my stop, and then they top wicked it. Excellent. Let's see if we can grab that lower bound. All right, so what I'm going to do here is, we're 19 minutes in. I'm still holding this short. And what I'm going to do is post a 63275. And then down south is 581.50. Right there. Okay. So morning range right now is about 50 points on NASDAQ. Nothing crazy. Why is that? My book map, my CVD is showing 11,000 because you don't have it reset. You see this little green vertical line right here? Yeah, that means I have it reset right at market open, which is 8:30 Central Time, 9:30 Eastern. So I have it reset right at the open to kind of flush out the order flow from the overnight. Yeah. Overall, the market does look very heavy right now. We have a lot of relative weakness here. All the stocks that were up yesterday are now down heavily today, and all we need is the mega caps the mega caps floated at the morning. If the mega caps start coming on down, and then when the tide goes out, everything's going to start coming on down, just like where rising tide raises all ships, a sinking tide lowers all ships. And that's kind of what we're looking for here. All the tides are going out. Last to go here is the mega caps. So obviously we do have data coming out. We have a lot of icebergs hitting right now, a whole bunch of icebergs hitting right now. So I would expect some aggressive price action at or post data at the top of the hour. So, and I just stopped out of my trade right there. So if you are looking for some trades, I would wait a minute or two after data posting here. Just kind of sit on your hands, Modus Erebus, and see what happens. I will say, the daily chart looks a lot like a reversal chart. If you go back to July, when we kicked off that selling in July, this is what it looked like. So we'll see. Hope it flushes. What's up, Octo Daddy? I'm expecting a rip before we flush. Certainly possible, yes, especially with all these icebergs coming in like this. There's a whole bunch of icebergs under the price action here, which indicate that we could have a little bit of a pop before we do flush. But yes, I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that one. Yeah, I'm with you. I definitely agree. Is that there's two really scenarios played out here. We are in desperate need for a 2 to 4% retracement, which we could retrace 2 to 4%, then bounce, blast all-time high, and have the Wyckoff upthrust. And Colin calls it selling climax. Wyckoff calls it an upthrust, which is like the phase 4, I think. Don't track me on that. And then, at which point we'll start the distribution into markdown phase. But we still need that upthrust. We haven't had that yet. So obviously anomalies happen. We had an anomaly in the end of October. But that's pretty much the playbook I'm looking at here. 2024 IRS tax reporting rule on crypto. Wow. This is part of the new tax reporting obligation that took effect. Uh-oh. What's Bitcoin doing like that with price action? How are they reacting to that? What's up, B. Mason? Good morning. Is it down 10%? Is it really? I don't track Bitcoin at all. Yeah, they are. Look at that. They got crushed. They're down 6%. Why in the world is that an infrastructure bill? Because they can't let us have too much money without taking their 30% off the top. That's why. All right, so we're taking out the morning high right now, just kind of trucking it up, and now the morning high, I don't play off of it until it's really set. So I'm just monitoring it shifting up right now. Here's the move. All these buy icebergs are transacting here, and we're starting to climb. ES hasn't really moved. Nasdaq is the one moving, and they had their own buy icebergs. You see this right here: 458, 229, 207. Which you have to remember, icebergs first attract, and then once transacted, they repel. That's the way I play icebergs. They attract them to the icebergs, they transact, and then they repel. And that's what they're looking for. And if you think about that, all it is gathering inventory. This plays into anti-calling, right? It's just gathering inventory. Microsoft is on a launch pad and rocketing. Actually, it's already off the launch pad. It's already up in the stratosphere. XLF getting creamed. Literally, this is the inverse of yesterday. Tech stocks are rocketing. Everything else is falling. Everything else that was up 1% yesterday is now down 1% today. We're inversing everything we did yesterday. ES is kind of trickling off in here to low of the day. NASDAQ just tapped on VWAP too, which is 641. Yesterday, if you notice, I'll say it again, beautiful channel yesterday. Beautiful channel. If you could exploit a channel like that, it's almost too easy. And we have another one today that's working pretty well so far. Inverse of yesterday is straight up. Call as it is. Never that simple. Oh yeah, it's never that simple. I didn't mean price action inverse. I mean the setup of the market is inverse. We just tapped NASDAQ VWAP perfectly. Rolled it. Another iceberg's coming in at 47.61. NASDAQ is 16.618 coming in. We have data 14 minutes. Let's take a look at the options data. Trade ticks, refresh. Y'all get your predictions in, 2024 end of year predictions? Get them in there. Who's the highest and lowest so far? What do we got? Star says 5,600. That's aggressive. The lowest is, let's see, Ivan is the lowest right now. Nope. Catastrophe. Catastrophe is 50-50. I like it. All right. GEX right now for today. 475, which is 5 points up. We're well below all the major GEX levels. Yeah, XLF is getting smoked. In fact, all 10 X's are now heavily red, with XLK is giving some back after a little bit of recovery. So all 10s are red, which is a lot different from yesterday's setup. A lot different. Do I have any NASDAQ lows for tier 2? Yeah, when I don't post them, it's always the week before, because I do the NASDAQ macros every other week, because I don't really track the options they had on NASDAQ. That's why they don't adjust. So NASDAQ has bottom wicked every single candle so far. Every candle. So we have definitely green closes, and NASDAQ is pushing up against 635. The overnight high is way up there, European Open. So we have another 100 points to get there. So I'm not necessarily tracking that yet. We did hold the trend line and bounced off of it, use it as support, and now we're holding VWAP. I'm just kind of tracking here, watching. We have a flip from yesterday's low, which is right here where we currently are, and we're kind of dealing with that level. Yeah, kid, I saw your comment. I didn't realize that was a reset. I thought it was a free account. That's why I asked you about it. For Top Step. All right. About to close a 5-minute candle here in 30 seconds. We'll see how this changes, but overall we'll still stick to 3, 2, and ES. Still has all these icebergs. 47, 42. DAX is still selling the whole day. Didn't they sell yesterday too? Or they recovered some of it yesterday? Yeah, they are. They're getting creamed today. Yeah. What is that? It's a bird. Okay. 16,625 here, holding the high at right now. The high right now is VWAP. So we've carved out about a 60-point morning range on NASDAQ. ES is still kind of pinned to 4760. Not much going on here. In terms of IV, it's a little juiced. Not much. I wouldn't call it juiced. I'm cautious to say that, but a little bit more juiced than we're normally seeing. The past couple of weeks, obviously, we've been in a holiday week. But overall, what's 4% from highs? What's 4% from highs? Let me see. 4840. 4840 times 0.96. 4650. 4650. So that would put another 110 points down for a 4% retracement, of which I'm buying everything on that one if we ever got down there. 4643. NASDAQ still holding. Not a lot of movement right now, just waiting for data. Top step is a hard eval. I like trade day. What is ES? ES is the S&P futures. We are sitting at the base of the last FOMC release spike. No, really? There you go. Yeah, so look over here, Isaac, if you're on the stream. If you look on my watch list, you've got the futures right here. Now you got the S&P futures, which is ES. You have the NASDAQ futures, which is NQ. The Russell futures, which is RTY. NQX, which is NASDAQ index, actually shouldn't be there. That should be down somewhere else. But even the VXX, which is VIX futures. So the S&P futures is ES. The S&P ETF is SPY. The S&P index is SPX. Right here, see index, ETF, and so forth. So if you want to trade futures, I would pay attention to this watch list right here. It also pays $50 per point. So if you get 10 points on ES, you make $500. Got you on that like button. Thanks, Renzo. Yeah, if you are watching, by the way, hit that like button for me if you don't mind. Help the thing grow. What's up, Pastor? How you doing? Yeah, macros levels, yeah. Yeah, buddy, absolutely. Top wick on ES. ES is still holding 47.62 right there. JP Morgan's on his way back down from all-time highs. Yeah, a little bit of profit taken there. The banks are getting a little pressure right now. Any benefit to working with futures versus SPY or SPX? Benefits depends. I don't like to look at it as one better than the other. They're different tools. You know, a plumber uses different tools than an electrician. Hopefully, you know. So it's different tools that are both work very well. The benefit of futures is the fact that it's very defined. Like if I want to get out at 47.60.25, I'm going to get out at 47.60.25. There's no options chain data. There's no theta. So there's accuracy of it. The next thing is going to be there's no theta, so there's no decay on the position. I can hold it as long as I need to, etc., etc. So it really depends. You know, it's the options versus futures, leverage versus unleveraged. All right, ES is coming off 47.60 here, and they're doubling down on 47.45 ES. But ES has been in a 4-point range since about 9 o'clock in the morning. So, oh man. All right, what are we doing here? We have 5 minutes till data. ES is breaking to new lows, trying to come on down to 47.60. Looking for a move lower. Looks like it's going to break down. Red candle on NASDAQ finally after the opening candle. More icebergs coming in on ES. A whole bunch of icebergs. Whole bunch of icebergs. New low for ES coming off 47.59. I just have fingers on the mouse button right now. Yeah. Anyone watching Top Step TV for the free reset, please post it here when it's out. When I see it, I'll try to say it. Okay, there you go. All right, more red on ES, 47.58. NASDAQ is coming off as well. Big red candles. Coming back off. Large red absorption through all of the other icebergs coming into 47.50. All right, still coming off here. Apex is 80% off and 80% off on renewals now. Nice. I think 4,700 is the target on SPX. Let's see. About 15 points down. We have a lot of iceberg or liquidity here, so that's probably the overarching target, about 12 points down. You see a whole bunch of icebergs coming in, which is definitely not something we've seen in a hot minute. ES is still coming off here. Oh, man. All right. Man, look at all these icebergs. Whole bunch of icebergs coming in. All right, data in 1 minute, 60 seconds. You have to 2.5x your account to pass the eval. Ooh. Just waiting. Another iceberg. 1,000 iceberg just filled, but there's a whole bunch of iceberg. Whole bunch. There's going to be some activity moving from this. I do not have any open positions right now. No, not into data. All right. Let's take a look at the SPY levels. We just bounced off S2. Remember, S3 is the big significant level. If we get down there, we're going to have to get through it. Haven't even looked at oil today. What is oil doing? Yeah, oil's big push. Look at that. Up to 72. Once again, bouncing off that 1650 area. All right, 5 seconds. Here we go. Liquidity's removed. Another big iceberg hit right before. See what happens. There's the posting, top of the minute, top of the hour. Green candle so far, NASDAQ. ES is coming up 47.60. Boom. All the way up, 47.80. Let's take a look at NASDAQ here. Nice. Right into VWAP as well. Let's see, 16,630. All right. So they top wicked here. They tamped it down. Let's see how they deal with it. We're right back inside the range so far. Not really that crazy of movement here. NASDAQ popped up about 50 points. ES popped up and rejected VWAP 47.68. Microsoft is still rocketing, so megatechs are still climbing. $16,626, 625. Big old top wick red candle there. Boom. Did that iceberg transact? Yes. So a whole bunch of icebergs transacted on ES and NASDAQ here, both of them. Oh, thanks, Ivan. So Jolts came in hair under an ISM. So that I believe that should be bearish for the dollar, if I remember right. Some of these are different, so it's hard for me to remember them. So coming on down, 102.47 ES. I just took another short on NASDAQ here to see after that big green top wick, and I got a fill of 1925. So we'll see what happens on that top wick here. So I'm only about 5 points in profit here on NASDAQ. But that's a big green push, and they immediately started top wicking it. And then, of course, now they smashed it. I'm going to see if we can get a dump back over for liquidity into 8.8 after that level. Yeah, it is very jumpy right now. I'm trying to play that momentum liquidity down into 80s. What's up, Whitson? How you doing? How's it going? ES just tapped VWAP perfectly and dumped back over. Second highest volume candle today, obviously, top of the hour. And we are, what's the Euro markets doing at the moment? I want to get a good handle on those as well. Top wicket on back down after a nice red sesh. The sellers are hitting this candle pretty hard. They've got another ice lower, 16,612. Microsoft is putting on a red after holding way up high. And ES has a little bit up here. Overall, we're smack dab in the middle. A lot of choppy action on ES. Oh, man. 636, 638. Another top wick off of VWAP. Six, 3, 9. Man, oil's blasting up, isn't it? Boring day so far. Very wiki day. Yeah, very wiki day. We had some nice movement in pre-market here, and it's Nasdaq in particular is whipsawing all over the place here. So. What's up, Octo Daddy? What you got? What you got? If I did the opposite of where I look for an entry, I'd be up 5 G's right now. Glad I'm hands off. What's happening, Twizzy? What do you got? Right now, it's not a great environment. I'm putting small positions on here. So just waiting. Just waiting. We're not really getting all that much movement here. NASDAQ and ES are both tamped down. A lot of wicks, a lot of craziness. We have major icebergs coming in. ES still has liquidity way down, 47.45. Kind of makes sense after yesterday. Yeah. Holding out 16,640. ES not moving. If they give out this area, then we could start, because there's not all that much pivot from here. We're kind of absorbing that morning high at the moment. If we take this out, now we'll start moving up into the morning high. With all these buy icebergs, it is possible. So it is possible. This area here is pretty critical. Pretty critical. What else we got? Not to mention we do have FOMC minutes today too. Got to watch right here. Nothing else until FOMC minutes at 2 o'clock. Just every entry I looked at or thought I'd get it immediately went the other way, so I'd be down bad. Well, right now, it's been a little whipsaw today. Yeah, so take that in consideration. Don't be too hard on yourself. That's why this type of action is not all that great to trade. FOMC minutes take us back to 17 Gs. You think? As long as it's not this, man, I will take it. I will take it. Little Scott stat, baby. There we go. There's some red. Am I still short? I am from 16,619. Small position, but I'm looking for this reclaiming of this liquidity lower here. That's why I was saying this level, right, this top level is crucial. That if they absorb that and hold it without a rejection, then we could possibly base and blast into pre-market levels, especially with all those icebergs coming on, with all the liquidity coming on there too. But I do still think the reason why I put on this play is after the top wicks look for absorb back down into the upper 15 or 16,590s base and absorb that liquidity. That's what I was playing for. Time to go do some hospital visits for church members. Yeah, buddy. That's the best, baby. You love it. Well done, Pastor. Keep spreading the word. I have a feeling, but then again, I could take a slower or it'll be a nothing burger. What do I know? Nah, it's not about knowing. It's about having a plan. Everybody has a plan to get punched in the face, right? Back inside profit. Sweet. Very tight action so far. Very tight action. Can you take me higher? Lower, that's right. Oh, man. The market has now decided to use my entry as support. Don't you love when that happens? It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. All right, now we're in profit. Sweet. All right, so now we're looking for this lower area. I'm keeping an eye on Microsoft. They are holding 372. If they come off, with the mega caps come off and join everything else, then this should be a pretty decent play here. I'm up now 12 points on this small position. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. I would say they have to have a 2K account, and you must grow that account. The whole thing with prop firms, and I keep seeing that conversation. If you're in a prop firm, your goal before you size up is to buy your drawdown. Whatever the drawdown is, if you've got a $3,000 drawdown, buy it up, and then you can start scaling up a little bit. Small position size until that. Now we're coming off here. Nasdaq is dropping there, 16,600, coming back off. This is a nice trade. So now I'm up 20 points per contract. I'm going to roll this baby down, and I'm going to set a 612 stop. That's going to give me 7 points of profit here because we are coming into the daily support. I'm not looking for a huge blast down here. The intent of this trade is to come down into the upper 590 liquidity, which we're now pretty much there. We got down to, what, 593. So we pretty much met the intent of the trade. Everything else from here is a gravy train with biscuit wheels. Anything further down here. I'm not looking to, Barry Bonds this thing into the marina. Into the harbor, I should say. So now I'm just going to roll my stops down to about 16. I'm going to do 16,600. How about that? 16,600 is a good stop. That's prior support from 920. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, pushing lower, pushing lower. I don't want to give back too much on this because this fulfills my trade, so I'm going to be tight with my stop loss. 595. All right, 590. Roll my stop, 590. And not stopped yet. It's not stopped yet. Don't stop me out, bro. Come on. Still going. Like it. 580, 579. Coming on down. What is that? Top step. What is that? Top step fire drill. Apparently Top Step has a fire drill or something, whatever that is. What's up, Octo Daddy? Rolling my stop down so far. I'm up 39 points, 40 points, and still going. Let's go, baby. Let's go. All right, now I'm going to pull my stops down 585. Like I said, I'm not going to give this particular position that big of a stop loss margin because I'm not looking for craziness here. I was looking for a roll down in liquidity in the upper 590s. Right now, I'm riding the train with gravy train with biscuit wheels, so I'm good to go. And I'm not going to give back. For my intent for this trade, I don't want to give back a lot because I'm looking for a huge trend down because that wasn't the intent of the trade. If this turns into a trend down, great. I'm just going to roll my stop down. I've already got about 40 points per contract on NASDAQ here. Pretty dang good play. And I'm going to set it about, let's go 580. That gives me about a 6-point berth. And we're coming on down, baby. Coming on down. Still dropping. Haven't stopped me out yet. 570. We are now below the trend line. There's a trend line. We just broke through it, which is bearish. Look at the CVD just dumped 10,000 negative on NASDAQ. That is an incredibly bearish CVD. Now I'm coming out. I'm still setting 580. What a day, what a day, what a day, what a day, what a day. All right. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Dump it. There's no buying here, so I'm going to keep riding this baby out. There's no buying here. There's no bottom wicks. It's all holding the engulfing, which is usually pretty bearish. There's 569. Still rolling. I was on the smoke train, but I got hopped off the gravy train when the smoke cleared. All right, here's the start of the new 5-minute candle. If this can hold red, we'll have another 10 to 15 push down. It's got to hold this red. The cycle. Let's see what happens. Watch this cycle right here. Watch this cycle right here. So far, the bears are still holding this candle. The sellers are still holding this candle. It's got to hold it. All right, good. So the sellers are still controlling this candle. That's a good sign for this candle. And hopefully, by then, we won't have any buying until the next cycle. I'm looking for a retest off pre-market low before getting in unless it starts to waterfall. I saw this one. What's the cost? 170 bucks a month though? See, that's the problem there. That's the problem. When I get done for the day, I trade simple micros for 10 to 10. Yeah, there you go. That's beautiful, Lord. If you want to trade like that, micros all the way, baby. I mean, y'all should be trading micros anyway, except for unless you've got a large enough account like Paul, but they have a 50% off right now. There's no activation fee. Interesting. I might give that a shot too. We'll see. I'm just waiting for 91% off on Apex. What do I mean by cycles? All right. So when you are tracking cycles, you have to realize that the market is completely controlled by computers, whether algorithmic or programming or front-run programming, whichever it is. The market is controlled by computers, and it's controlled by two parameters, two main parameters, levels and time frames. So an algorithm could be set to, all right, buy for 5 minutes and then stop, or sell for 5 minutes and stop, or stop selling at the top of the hour or bottom of the hour, whichever it is. We don't know that. But if you notice, on the 5-minute candles in particular, that you'll get a bunch of strong sell action, sell action, sell action, and the absolute instant the next candle starts, it turns into buy action. It happens quite frequently. So watch the cycles on the 5-minute. Now, I look for anywhere between 6 to 20 minutes, 21-minute cycles. That's usually the time frame when they start to make a move. So if you see 3, 4, 5 5-minute candles in a row, then we're coming up on a spot in which we're going to move. So we got a nice little move there. The sellers are still controlling this candle here, so we might be safe until the next 2.5 minutes. So now that we're at 564, I'm going to roll my stop down even more. I'm up 50, 60 points per contract here. I'm short from 16,619, and we're coming back off. How many points of different direction do you think it's a sign of reversal? It depends. I don't want to give back too much of this, like I said, because I'm not looking for a massive move. I'm just looking for a break into liquidity, which we just got. So it's already fulfilled. It's already checked the box of my thesis. So this is me talking through my emotions and my game plan here. I don't want to give back very much on any kind of bounce. I'm not looking for an all-day trend, so I'm not willing to hold into drawdown. Oh, I'm up a couple of thousand on my real account, and I'm up 1449 on my Top Step account. Do you have any recent YouTube videos on your trade breakdowns of VPA entries and cycles? I do. Yeah. I've got a couple of videos on trading without any indicators whatsoever, like literally just price action. And I've got a whole bunch of videos on how I use my VPA-based indicators. All right, so here we go. That 5-minute candle closes a doji. So the best the buyers could do was a doge. Next candle starts, and we're beginning the second candle of this cycle. Now we're tripping lower, and all I'm doing is holding my stops lower. That's it. I'm not getting out of the trade. Remember, I'm not exiting the trade. Very few times do I actually want to exit the trade. I want the market to get me out of the trade by stops. That allows me to catch big trends and to automate my process as much as possible. In addition, we're also now below the trend line and rejecting off of the trend line. What do I mean? Right here. What is your trailing drawdown at your top step? Does it keep scaling up as you make profit? Negative. So top steps drawdown is only by the closing balance. It's not by it's not unrealized profits like Apex. It's just your balance. So it's based on that. In addition, it stops at break even. So I've got the $150,000 account. So my drawdown is 150. You get a $4,500 drawdown, but once it hits 150, it stops. So nice, Lord Paul. Have a good day, buddy. I'm confused about the drawdown. Asked about it yesterday. You had a pretty big drawdown a little bit at the beginning of the trade. What made you stay in? Well, position sizing is one. Obviously, if I was rolling 10 Nasdaqs, I would have been, a little bit sweating over that trade. But I was down about 25 points on a small position on Nasdaq, which is, that was reaching the upper limits of my tolerance. Yes, which while I was saying above this level, I'm out. That's why I said if we went up above that level, I'm out. And what I was doing is using the market as a natural defense. Ooh, nice little pop here. Still in the trade. And I think with that, I'm going to roll my stops down even farther because now I'm up about 60 points. So I'm going to bring that down from 580, which we never tapped, and I'm going to bring it down to 970. I don't want to give back any more on another bounce. So I'm going to come down to 970. All right, 970. Set. Yeah, so it's all about my thesis. One, I had natural defense of the morning high pivot of 16642, and I was looking in VWAP. So if we closed over that, if we take out VWAP, and you have to think about the importance of VWAP. The reason why I track VWAP, and I'm very much against technical indicators, but the reason why I still trade VWAP is because a VWAP is more of a reversion mean trade. If we put on a red candle such as today with VWAP up at like 16630, if we take VWAP over and then hold it, the chances that we're going to go back up are high. So I was watching that candle. Not only do we have the morning high pivot, we also had VWAP. So we have some natural defenses. I want to trade where there's natural defense in the market. And that's where I got it. So I came up into the 640. As long as we held that, I'm okay. And then we sold back off. So, and this thing came off. And then, of course, every conversation starts with position sizing. Does a withdrawal and top step with reset the drawdown? Nope. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I blew up my Apex account. Somehow that's less pressure on my trades for my real account. I don't know. You're welcome, Nancy. I love how you talk to the trades that you're in and sharing your thoughts. Oh, nice, Uncle Bill. Appreciate that. I'm fine with the drawdown because I'll never hit it with the right size. That's with anything, though, Rocket. That's with any prop firm. We all like to discuss prop firms, but really, the realization I had with Apex, and the reason why I talk so much crap about it, is because I didn't use it right. I was literally I was trading like a degenerate when I got my 10 accounts. Because if you remember, I funded 10 Apex accounts back in the spring. And I still have my top step because I actually trade top steps like it's real. I don't know why. It's just my mindset. And I was using way too big a position sizing on my Apex, and I blew them up with it using the trade replicator because of the trailing drawdown. So that's why I'm saying once I get a 91% off, I'm going to try Apex again along with my top step. It just trades simply 1 or 2 micros, and that is it. So I still got my stop set at not 570. If we trip that, I'm out. I'm not touching my stop again. That'll give me about 50 points per contract. Nice, Damien. Boom, that stopped me out. 2.09% port increase. Nice. I love it. Well done. QQQ holding to the penny of the FOMC release base of spike. Nice. All right, back to flat, y'all. Back to flat. The top step funded account drawdown does change once you take a payout. Once you take a payout, it becomes zero. So if you're under 4,500, it'll go to zero. Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm talking about if you're in profit. Yeah. Me personally, I never even considered taking a payout until I was over 10,000 on top step. So it was a little different. Stopped out. Nice, Tim. I'm at 3 to 5 micros on Apex. That's all you need with multiple accounts. That's absolutely all you need. I was looking at today what level should be chosen. What consideration should I make for choosing the right eval? I would not invest a lot of money in prop firms until you know that you're consistent enough and you have a system that can hold up to the evals. So I would do something small. I would do one of the smallest ones you can do until you realize that you can do it. Do not go buying the 300k evals and spending $400 until you understand yourself as a trader. The rules make it very difficult. It takes a lot of work to get to the point where you can take withdrawals and maintain accounts. It takes time. If you're trying to do it in under 2 weeks, I hate to tell you, but it ain't going to happen. Because you've got to get a cushion. It's easy to get one payout. If you want to get multiple payouts, it takes a lot of time. I've been trading top step and I'll tell you what, I've been trading top steps a couple of weeks before the Las Vegas conference. And it's taken me little by little. Obviously, I went 2-3 months without even touching it. But still. Okay. That was a nice little trade. About 50-something points per. ES still has 47.50 and 47.45. Really need to go. Good luck. If anyone has Apex questions, I'm an end user pro. Only company I've used. Nice, Lord. Have a good rest of the day, buddy. All right, so back to flat here. I got 99 points, but the MMA won. I love it. We will see what happens. We will see what happens. Oh, man. One green trade kind of getting hard back in the groove. Nice tool, man. I love it, buddy. Appreciate that. I've been hawking that CCL position and found some OI at 41,251 for the July 20. Yeah. That's the only reason I put that on my watch list. Obviously, CCL has climbed into a major resistance. That's why I said in that analysis that it's not actionable yet. I don't want people taking longs because we are into resistance. That's a 6 to 12 month out watch list item, and there's a phenomenal amount of OI hitting those calls. So I want to watch it for the next couple of drawdowns. We can start buying into positions. All right, there is 10:30. Y'all know what that means. It's time to set the morning high and low. So 55650. And then the high here is 65350. Just got back to the market. Nice Cali. Love it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What about that price action made you get into a short position? There was way too many top wicks. Way too many. You saw that every single green candle was top wicked. Usually, if you want a bullish run to begin, you need engulfings. You need liquidity sweeps of buy sides to get in. And I didn't see any of that. I saw one green candle, yeah, but it was immediately top wicked. After the data, we had a green candle immediately top wicked. So there's still a whole bunch of selling on the tape. We hadn't come down on Nasdaq to sweep out that bottom area. So I was looking for that move. You know, it's all about gathering inventory, and we never actually did that. So, and obviously I put the move on, and it worked out well. I wasn't even looking for that big of a move. I was looking for upper 590s. So I was only looking for 20 to 30 points, and it worked out pretty well. I ended up getting almost 60. ES still has a whole bunch of liquidity lower. Oh, man. No. 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 I appreciate it, though, Tim. I appreciate it. Are we going to close to 3% since Friday? You know what I want to do? I want to download all of the opening and closing prices of the SPX and actually figure out when the longest time frame for 3%. I'm pretty sure this is the longest time ever between 3% moves on the SPX. But I need to find a place where I can download all the data. I tried Yahoo a couple of weeks ago. It's not accurate. But I need all of the data. I'm sure you got to pay for it. Top wigs still holding the trend line. Oh, man. For my first funded account, I set a daily goal of 75 to 100 bucks a day. It took a minute to get it done, but it helped fine-tune my trading when I was getting started. I love it, Austin. We are close to negative 3%. We are down 0.9 right now, so we got a long way to go, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Jerome will crush it. What's up, Don Quixote? You gonna slay some windmills today? Of course. Love it. Love it. What's up, Maddie? How you doing? All is well. I've taken 2 trades today. Very, very profitable. We're doing good today. Is Powell talking today? Yeah, he's talking crap. No, it's just FOMC minutes. We don't have an FOMC till I believe January 31st, 31st, the last day of the month. Seems like ES is really drawing. It is, yeah. ES is coming off hard. Coming off hard. Absolutely, Matty God is good. 100%. 15,580 buyers are doing a very crappy job of moving this thing back in the range. Let me look at the morning range on ES. Morning range is, was it 69.50? And then the low is 51.75. What you know about that? I need some music. Someone give me some good music. I need some new stuff. Lo-fi? Isn't that the like pub music or whatever? All right, here's another attempt at an iceberg. Very small iceberg, but there's been some major icebergs coming in all day. All day. You know what I think? You want to hear what I think? I think we're going to close the day with a rally. Regardless of what happens till then, another punch lower, I think we're going to close the day with a rally. There's a whole bunch of buy icebergs coming in here. I can't ignore those. Can't ignore them. All right. We're about to punch this. Watch this. I think we're about to grab this liquidity at 51. Kind of building this momentum, this pressure, like a pressure cooker with the pressure release valve clogged. Speaking of which, I need to buy some tannerite. Where can I get some tannerite on a quick turnaround? Man, I just got super lucky. I just did a quick scalp on ES. Worked out really well, really quick. Lo-fi is good music to relax to. Calm beats, background sound. Let's take a look. Love me some Linkin Park, baby. Yeah, love me some Linkin Park. What's up, LeVar? Have a good day, buddy. 6K day. Dude, go get yourself some Taco Bell. Is that a bunch of buying iceberg? It is, yeah. There's another huge one right there, 1,200. Man, this might be worth putting on a lotto call. Just buy cold packs and aluminum powder. Interesting. Are they buying into the move on the way down? There's no buying yet, but there are some major icebergs coming on here. Major icebergs. Man, ES just got creamed. I don't know why. It doesn't 47.47. All right, what are we doing here? Grab a 468 call. Yeah, I think I'm going to do the same. I think I'm going to put on a small call for the end of the day. There's a lot of odd behavior here, a lot of major icebergs coming on that I need to account for. I can't just see those and not analyze it. So can I explain what you mean by the buying your drawdown in the prop firm? Yep. All right. So let's take a look here. Let's do a little analysis. So let's go to the Apex. What's the drawdown for the 50K Apex? $1,500? Someone tell me, what is it? 2,500? All right. Let's say 2,500. So let's say you do the Apex prop firm. Let's say you do the 50K account. You do the 50K challenge, and it has I can't even type for nothing. 2,500 drawdown. Your goal needs to be, you need to get to 52,500. And that your goal needs to be to get to 52,500 balance. Before you do any of that, and before you make any moves, you need to be able to trade micros only. Micros only. Only. Period. No exceptions. No exceptions. No trading on tilt. I don't want to hear trading on tilt. If you want to trade on tilt, go to Vegas. So people say, oh, I trade on tilt. Yeah, well, don't do it. It's simple. If you find yourself in a losing position, you have to realize, one, you're going to have red days. It's going to happen. Having a red day is not the excuse to throw your hands up and say, screw it, I'm just going to do 10 NASDAQs and get it back. No excuse. So micros only, no exceptions. And you do that until you hit 52.5. And even then, you still stick with micros, but now you're okay. Now you can take a little bit more risk. So instead of trading 1, 2, 3 micros, you could trade 2, 3, 4 micros. A little bit more. Your next goal is to get to 5,000. Next goal is 5,000. Even with that, you're still only doing micros. But now you can move up to 4 to 7. Let's say 5 to 8. I'll give you 5 to 8 micros. Even that is a hefty position. Your next goal after that is 10 Gs. 10,000. Now this is going to take you a couple of months. This is not something you could do in 1 month. You can't, not doing micros. But what this allows you to do is have the opportunity to take an entire month or two to do this. Because if you're trading minis, one single bad day and you're gonna destroy weeks of movement with the drawdown. With a real account, when you're doing your real money, I don't trade micros in my real account because I don't have a drawdown in my personal account. I do have a daily limit at which I stop trading, but there's no trailing drawdown on my real account, obviously. So these rules are strictly for prop firms. So what do I mean by buy your drawdown? I mean you have to make as much money as the drawdown is. So if this is like $4,500 for Top Step, then your goal needs to be $4,500 of profit. Nah, I mean, bro. If I don't sleep well, I almost always tilt. Yeah. You've got to get that out. Like you can't trade on tilt. Like that trading on tilt, which I've done it before, don't get me wrong, but trading on tilt is just you're giving into your emotions. You can't do it no matter what. I mean, no matter what. I don't care how you have to understand is that you're going to have losing days. Losing days is not an excuse to throw caution into the wind. It's just not. You're going to have losing days. And what you need to realize is that you need to take pride in the fact that your losing day is manageable, not a blowout. The thing, you know what makes me profitable? Like people, I've taken, you know how many criticisms I've taken? You know how many YouTube videos are on YouTube right now calling me a scammer? You know how many DMs I get of hate, just like everyone else? Because they criticize me because I don't have a holy grail. I don't have some crazy indicator I can hawk on TradingView. It all comes down to the fact that I do not let my losses blow out my wins. I do not let my losses blow out my winning days. Period. I think that's the hallmark of what makes me so profitable. It's not the fact that I've got a holy grail. I could say, go look at this and do this, go forth and conquer. It's the fact that I teach risk management because I'm a risk management trader. And my worst days do not destroy my good days. Period. Period. So you can't lose lower than 52.5 in order for me to keep trading. Well, no. So with Top Step, again, I need to go read the rules of Apex. With Top Step, you do have a trailing drawdown, but it stops at 50,000. So if you have a 50,000 account, your initial drawdown off the bat, the day you sign up, is what? Let me do the math on that. 47.5 on a 2,500. So you can't lose more than 47.5 the first day. Now that is trailing, so if you know that's where the nuance comes. Where if you make 1,000, that moves up to 48.5. But after that, it stops at 50,000. So if you make 200 grand, you could lose 200 before you blow up the account. $100 a day with micro, but 20 accounts is a nice income. It absolutely is, Jay. Yeah. Self-care is part of being a good trader. It is. Name checks out. So you can't, yeah. Well. Thanks, Tom Good. How can you be a scammer? I've never heard you ask for money. Yeah. I mean, I do have a paid Discord, yes. $25 a month. But I don't sit there and run advertisements. I don't shove it down people's throats. If you want to sign up, come sign up and hang out. If not, I'm still going to help you as much as I can while being fair to my members. So, Top Step doesn't allow you to have 20 accounts. Yep, correct. They only allow you, I think 3 is the max on Top Step. You're not a scammer until you ask for a crypto wallet address. Yeah. If you make 5K and lose 3K, but you're still up over 2K for the day, you will still blow up an account. I don't think so. No. I mean, on the evals, yes. On the funded accounts, no. Once you're funded, it stops there. All right, they are adding more liquidity at 47.38. NASDAQ, they still have this cat down here at 16.5. That is Warren Buffett's psychology. Do not lose money. His rules number 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, 100%. 100%. For someone new into futures, is it better to do a prop and just start small with real money or on a futures broker? It's really up to you, Walker. Every time I hear Walker, I think of the dude from Yellowstone. I'm glad you think it's pretty here, Walker, because your time to leave this place is just past. It's really up to you. I think prop firms can be a phenomenal tool as long as you have a good system. The leverage that prop firms allow you to do, as long as you have a real system, is amazing, honestly. If you don't have a system, I would not recommend it because you're going to spend a lot of money doing re-ups. To me, it blows my mind that I can have 20 accounts, make $200 a day, and draw $40,000 a month. It's mind-blowing to me. But it's obviously very difficult, otherwise everybody would be millionaires. If you don't have a system, I would stay far away from prop firms. Far away from prop firms. The CVD is very red. Very red. Here, I'm going to delete this stuff. There you go. I guess I need to do a YouTube video on my prop firm thoughts, but I kind of been avoiding it purposely. Can you explain the difference between a system and a strategy? A strategy is a tool that a system produces. Like think about a military. Like the United States military has a system. The strategy is, all right, well, I'm going to deploy the Marines, and then I'm going to deploy the Air Force over the Marines to cover them. That's a strategy. System is the Air Force. Like you mess with us, we're going to plow you. That's what I want you to do. Is develop a system on which you can fall back on, no matter what. And a system, in my opinion, needs to have rules that are based in emotions and in technical setups. And it could be anything. It could be price action, it could be volume, it could be pivots. Some people only trade at pivots and that's it. Anyway, would you trade in prop firms with your own personal data or apply for LLC? Seems like they gave you a 1099. That's in my opinion, that is the number one biggest downside to prop firms, is that it's 1099 income. Number one biggest downside. Because all that does is put you in a new tax bracket. And lets Zelensky get more of your money. You buy Zelensky another mansion. Will they let you trade in an LLC? I think so, yeah. Don't hold me to that. We're surrounded. That simplifies our position of getting to these. Yeah. We can now shoot in all directions. Targets in all directions. We are a target-rich environment. I'm a little late this morning. How are things looking? Great. So far, I've taken 2 trades that I've discussed on the channel. I took 1 quick scalp on ES right there. I got about 5 points out of it, but that's about it. Been a pretty good day. I'm considering putting on a YOLO call into the end of the day. A small 20-point outside the money call in SPX. 10-point outside the money into the FOMC minutes because there's a lot of weird action on here on liquidity. And who's calling me? I don't need to answer that. There's a lot of icebergs coming in to the buy side, incredibly high icebergs. Now the CVD is very, very red, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, the IRS just called me. So I'm going to speculate on some rally into the FOMC minutes. Just put on a small trade that I don't mind getting blasted. You're the only trade guru I know so far. Taking time to explain. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Thanks, Trader Bear. Appreciate that. I don't think so, Catchy. It could be. I could be very wrong. But I'm going to speculate on some green into the end of the day. Sorry about that. My daughter came in. They're still off of school this week. Do you think the bond auction at 11:30 will have a big effect on the market? Which bond market? I don't see a bond auction today. What is it? Feels like those icebergs are prepping for a big move on FOMC. I think so, Trader Bear. Yeah. What data feed and add-ons do you have with Bookmap? I have rhythmic data. There's a nice little 10-point pop on it, yes. Rhythmic data with the MBO package, Market Pulse, which I don't have active at the moment, Liquidity Tracker also don't have active, and then Iceberg and Stop Loss Indicators. But the MBO package is the big deal. I have Global Plus. There's a big green on ES. Man, I guess I was right, huh? Dang. I'm such a jabroni. Another iceberg just hit, too. Another buy ice. I'm such a jabroni. Mute again, we blast up. I love it, Ivan. I love it. I feel like the bond markets are now a volatility catalyst. You're absolutely right, Trev Trades. Absolutely right. The reason why that is because if you think about the nature of the bond trade, why do people buy bonds? For as close to a risk-free trade as you can get, and it pays a premium, right? It pays interest rate. Well, when the interest rates are climbing, the demand for bonds goes down because people know that if they just wait a little bit, that they'll get a better rate. So they don't go buying into bonds with an increasing rate environment. When the rates peak and start plateauing and coming down, the demand for bonds goes way up because they know that's the highest rate they're going to get. Human nature, right? So they're going to pile into bonds, especially in a volatile market that requires protection such as this. So overarching theme, the big trade I'm looking for is the rotation into bonds. I still think the bonds are going to see some pressure before we start cutting rates. And then we're going to start buying into a lot of bonds. That's really the bonds in a nutshell. That's a very high level view. Don't get me wrong. It's not perfect, but it's a very high level view to watch bonds. And that's basically how they move in and out. We haven't had any volume spikes there, but this is a nice move back up from all the buys. Where's this trend line going to hit? New cycle. That's right, Vamsy. That's right. So we've got a trend line at about 47.63 if this comes back up. Did you see JP Morgan, who was once a huge detractor of Bitcoin, has now come out and is funding the Bitcoin ETF or something like that? It's all fugazi. It's all crap. It's all nonsense. Watch, we'll find out that Pelosi bought a bunch of Bitcoin at the lows. One of the most corrupt governments in the world. George Washington would be shaking in his grave right now. All right. 16610. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Did you see that new Netflix movie called Bitcon? I did not. I still need to watch the GameStop movie. writing something down real quick. I have a notebook whenever I have an idea. Mitch McConnell is one of the rare who couldn't beat the S&P trading. Yeah. Well, we just passed the top of the hour. We have 25 minutes till Euro closes. I've had a pretty good day here, so I'm just kind of hitting on cruise control at the moment. The GameStop movie Dumb Money is okay. It's not too bad. Yeah, I'll still trade. I'm curious. Obviously, we're in the environment, so I use ES a lot to trade SPY. I see ES is still slightly below S2, but SPY price is slightly above. Can you let me know the relation? Just the conversion value is probably a little bit off. You have to realize volatility in the spot adjusts even on day to day, so the conversion could just be a little bit off. Speaking of Chinese markets, speaking of which, look at S3, Tim Crown. What is BABA doing lately? I want to keep an eye on BABA. They're still holding their 75 range. Man, every day is like a 3% day on BABA. Well, I hope y'all caught the long that I didn't catch that I said I was going to catch. Which volume profile indicator on TradingView have you found works best in the 5? I personally like the Lux Algo volume profile. All right, so here, let me look at something real quick. There's not really a good trend line at the moment. Not as good as yesterday, obviously. Not as clear. Microsoft dumped back over. Yeah. I've got my licks in. $16,500, very daunting on NASDAQ. Let me look at the 240-minute chart. So, for 4 sessions in a row, December 27th, 8th, January 1st, January 2nd, the sellers have controlled the 4-hour candle that starts at 10 o'clock. So the sellers have been dominating the volume. I mean, since we're going back to December 19th, the sellers have dominated the volume. And all we really did is take out the holiday volume, the holiday price action. What time is FOMC? Well, it's FOMC minutes, but it's 2 o'clock. Thoughts on XLF? Yeah, it's holding 70.37. It's just pretty much holding yesterday's lows, and I mean going back to Wednesday's lows. I'm a TOS user. I'm subscribed from TradeView. Keeping it simple on TOS charts with price action, volume, book map, reconciling at USR lines. Nice. There you go. Whatever works, man. Honestly, if the IBKR beta starts to really hawk out all the details, and they can incorporate TradingView charts, I would probably trade exclusively off of IBKR. You know, aside from the prop firm stuff, of course. TOS is simple and intuitive. Yeah, the latest beta. Yeah, but it needs to get out all the bugs and problems. I thought you already did. I mean, I have IBKR. I mean, like trade in the app, like actually um, use the charts and trade off the charts and stuff like that. That's what I mean. Yeah. What do we got? What do we got? I might hop off here at the 11:30, and then we'll come back on around FOMC minutes. I mean, I'm jealous of some of the IBKR features, the percentage up and down. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's a pretty common feature, though. I'm very surprised that it's so difficult to figure that out on IBKR. But that was one thing that really aggravated me by IBKR. Is like, why do I have to go there and add that? That's like a standard feature everyone wants to know. Oh man, what do we have? CVD has trimmed that red. It has, yeah. Chart trading is a dream come true. Yeah, I think you're right about the end of the day rally. Yeah, it's all the icebergs, man. You know, I see all that coming in here. Yeah, that's correct, Andrew. Yeah, I'm done for the day here on my stats. Look at that, nice. $2,600 on 5 trades too. Awesome. Well done. Well done. Hmm. Hmm. I'm scared of losing the 9 PAs that I have if I trade with copier and I trade them all separately. But man, it's oh yeah, I would. Yeah, you're losing a lot. I mean, I see your point, but it seems like you're losing the benefit of having that many accounts. Just stay with micros. You know, position sizing is crucial. You got to trust your system. You know, there's one thing to have a plan in case of failure, and there's another thing to plan to fail. I feel like there you're planning to fail. So right now we're not really moving. We didn't have a community chess tournament one day. Do you have weekly active spreads active? I don't. Well, we're gonna when I get a good handle on stuff, I'll put one on. But yeah, bring it on, hippie. Love it. Gotta have levels, otherwise I'm rolling the dice. Yep. It's not just the sizing. A lot of glitches happen with the software. I've seen people lose 20 price action because of 20 PAs. Yeah, that would drive me nuts if I lost counts like that on glitches. Big time. Hmm. Top wicks. Anyway, I'm probably gonna kind of take a break here in a couple minutes once the Euro closes, and we'll watch the stuff at the end of the day. If you haven't already, go into the 2024 end of year prediction channel and please post your prediction. We will unarchive that again on January 1st, 2025, and see what it looks like. I feel like it was just yesterday we were doing this year's. Yeah, and kind of what Agnostic just said too, Van, is that if you want to kind of do a in between, do 10 accounts instead of 20. So do a trade on the 10 and a trade on another 10 instead of trying to do every 20. It's like trying to spin 20 plates at once. Terrible. Anyway, traded one gold and one short today. Nice. Yeah, I definitely need to pay more attention to oil. Every now and then, I'll have days when I catch it and days where I just completely forget about it. I need to set some more alerts on it. So, any questions, comments, concerns, thoughts before the end of the day? Do you think XLF is still the leader sector for the S&P? In terms of monitoring, the reason why I monitor it, obviously there's like XLK is going to move more, is going to have a heavier weight than the S&P, right? But for me, the reason why I track XLF is simply because I want to see how the financial sector is moving. I think that's the highlighted sector for right now, with the banks and the bonds. That's why I track it. Could all those icebergs be a spoof? Potentially. More VPA videos, I could do that. Potentially. Is it time to buy bonds yet? You could probably. I think it's a. I think whether we go down or up, I think we're in a good place to be averaging into it. Yeah. Nope, not yet. TWAS. It was a big green volume candle spike 11:30, 11:05. Why did the candle not move much? Um, let's see. Talking about ES. Let me go look. SPY. It because that's us entering into supply. That's a good question. So I guess you mean this candle here. Um, we transacted. The reason why we had a high volume spike into this area because we hit into supply, which obviously is right on VWAP. So what that tells me is that there's a good amount of supply in this area. That's what this candle tells me here. Now we're not rejecting it. We're hanging out here. So we're conducting what's called absorption. The buyers are absorbing all the supply here, and if there's more buyers, then we'll right on through. Right there. Knowing where the volume happens is key. If the volume happens here, then that's a buy side into demand. The volume happens here, that's sell side into supply. What's your thesis for the month? Retracement and then bounce into all-time highs. I still haven't changed my macro thesis, but I think shorter term, the next month or so, retracement and then bounce into all-time highs. What's your recommended stop loss on a new prop firm account? I would say 100 bucks. Don't lose more than $100. Um, that's would be your stop. So trading micros, if you lose 100 bucks, then you don't have a good handle on that particular day's price action. Still have all this liquidity down here. All-time highs, then plunging to the end of the earth. That's the plan. That's the plan. Oh, man. Minus 22% down. No, not in one day. So 5 minutes till euro closes. We haven't moved. Pretty boring stuff now. I've searched yesterday. This was the biggest drawdown of one day. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was, what, 1987? When that happened? Yeah. But you see how fast the 1987 sell-off recovered? Didn't take long. You were broker. You were a broker then, or you were a broker then? Just kidding. It was brutal. I bet it was brutal. I can't imagine a flash crash like that. I mean, crazy. It's gonna. I'm looking forward to. I guess I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm curious to see what's gonna happen when we have another event like that. It's been a while. So, I guess 2000. I guess coronavirus can be considered one, but the best part of it, a lot of new firms started up. I think it was nobody is mad at us. Mm. Not for a friend who was short futures Friday, made 100K to pay for his 2-year B school tab. Wow. 1 minute, and then I'm gonna jump off. All the icebergs vanished. Yeah, they transacted. We haven't had a lot come on yet, but there's been a phenomenal amount transacted. What's the euro doing right now? Just kind of chopping back and forth. Chopping back and forth. Do you like small TLT calls here? Long term, possibly, yeah. Yeah. Well, you're very welcome, Sean. Appreciate it. All right, there's Euro close. I'm going to go ahead and call that in the morning. If you have any questions, let me know. We will. I'm not going to promise I'm going to stream again, but what I'll do is I'll come back to the computer and kind of watch FOMC minutes and see what we got, and maybe we'll see. We'll see how things go. So, great trades today. Awesome stuff. Hope you all got some value out of it. Good questions. Let me know if you have any questions other than that, and I'll see y'all here in a few hours. I'm out. See ya.